Okay, it's time for us to get into our work session. So this time, Ms. Tanya, do you have anything?
I do not have anything. I'm just going to stand right here if that's okay. I don't have anything for the agenda. We're just still getting our building ready and getting teaching assignments into place. I'm having to start the interview process today for a kindergarten position at Birchfield. So I know Mr. Hall's going to post that, so that'll be posted. But that process has started today. It's been a long day, but it's been a very productive day. So we're just getting ready to, get this thing started whenever somebody tells us when we can.
Okay, thank you. What about Mr. Cash? Is he here or is he online?
He's probably online. I know he said he couldn't be here.
Okay.
He is not online.
Okay. What about Miss Hamilton?
She is.
Okay. Miss Hamilton, do you have anything? Hello?
Lisa, your mic is muted.
Hello, thank you, sorry. We're just doing the same. We're working on the building, trying to get everything ready. Everything's going pretty well. We're trying to get all of our orders in and make sure all those things are accounted for that's on those orders. And just trying to get all those things together, I guess, and waiting for the next thing that we're supposed to do. We're going to have a tech training on Thursday, and Mr. Duncan is going to come and do some more training about what the teachers need to use and get all of us on the same page, hopefully. That's all I have. I don't have anything for the agenda. Do anyone have questions for me?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Goodman. Is Miss Goodman online?
I do not see her.
Okay. How about Miss Jeffers from Robbins?
She was trying to connect. She said she was in Knoxville.
I do not see her either.
Okay. How about Miss Rector from Scott High?
She is.
I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
I just, real quick, I don't have anything for the agenda. And just to let everyone know, we did complete registration for students online at Scott High. That went really well. Was really pleased with how that went. Got a great response from our students. But just want to let the students and parents know, if they didn't have a chance to complete that registration online, it's not a problem. We will complete that for students according to their past course history. We'll sign them up for classes, and then as we have done in the past, we'll do the same thing this year. We will give students and parents the opportunity to preview those schedules in late July and then request any adjustments at that time. So again, if they didn't have an opportunity to complete that registration and those requests, they will have a second opportunity for that in late July. So that's what we're working toward right now, is getting all of those students scheduled and in classes. Want to thank Technology's help for help with that. But that's what we're working on right now, as well as, again, as Miss Tanya said and Miss Lisa, diving into some of those new plans and trying to figure out where we need to start for this very unusual year. That's all that I have, unless you have questions.
Okay, thank you. How about Miss Stanley with Winfield?
I am here. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I just wanted to say that I think the principals and the other people who were there yesterday at our meeting with Mr. Hall, I think that was a very productive meeting, and appreciated the chance to kind of talk about some of the challenges that we're going to be facing. Winfield did have a day of in-service for all of our staff, as well as our, not just teachers, but our teacher assistants and our office staff. And we looked at some of the technology that we're going to have, and want to say thank you to Jessica Chambers, Dave Blevins, Brandy Harris, and Amanda Ayers for leading that in service. I thought it was both productive and informative, and we are looking forward to doing more of those. Our custodians are working inside the building, and I wanted to say that the office at Winfield will be closed the next 2 days as they strip and wax the floors in the office. So if anyone needs me, I will be available by email, text, or phone, or the website. There are certainly multiple ways to get hold of me if you need me. Also, just a comment, I guess. I know that we left yesterday feeling that I thought we had made some accomplishments as far as the beginning of this year. I know it is a challenge. I've been in this profession over 4 decades, and I thought I'd seen it all until this year. But I think that our school and our system is up to facing these challenges, and that's what they are. I don't look at them as obstacles that cannot be overcome. I think they are challenges that when you put all of us together within this school system, we have the personnel on all fronts that can face these challenges. So I'm looking forward to seeing my people and hopefully my students on August the 10th. I do feel, and I want to go ahead and express this to the board, I do feel that if we can have athletics, we ought to be able to have school. Folks, school is still our #1 priority, academics. And however we decide to deliver that instruction, that's still our #1 goal. And that's still our concentration. So I hope the board and I'm sure Mr. Hall will keep that in mind as we face off some of these challenges. But I do look forward to it. And like I say, to me, this is, it's just something else that we will battle and overcome. It's not, I don't want to be pessimistic about it. I want us to be optimistic and realize that as a group, there is an amazing amount of talent within all of us. So I actually look forward to facing the next few weeks. And I don't have anything to go on the agenda. And that's all I have unless you have questions.
Okay, thank you. We'll have to agree with you on all that. Okay, how about Miss Keaton? Linda Keaton, is she online?
I do not see her.
Okay, what about Debbie Sexton?
Yes, I'm here. It's been a busy month. Been working on an end of the year report, trying to finish up this year. I've applied for several grants. Mr. Hall and I have interviewed some teachers for the Birchville position, but I do have 2 things for the agenda. You all have a copy of the Goodwill contract. And of course, it's no cost to the board. It will, the funding will come out of the special ed budget for those students that may qualify to work at Goodwill if we have the money. And then also, I was approved to receive an exploration grant. It's almost in the amount of $9,997. So that's on there. I have applied for an innovation grant in the amount of $20,000, but I won't know if that grant is approved until like July 10th. But that's all I have unless you all have any questions.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Amanda.
I have several things. I gave you all a copy of the new BEP estimate. That's with no salary increase. So since there was no salary increase there, it was a difference of $151,000. So I'm going to get, what I did was from the general purpose amendment #1 was I go ahead and I took that out. So you'll see that in the general purpose amendment 1 on that. It says BEP adjustment from April to June. So that's why that's on there. So the salary schedule, all the salaries will remain the same because of that. I am on the general purpose amendment going to go ahead and transfer out $450,000 to federal. That's for that cash flow. So when Greg's ready to order the laptops, if that's what we're choosing to do, then that's there. And then once that CARES Act is over, then we'll just transfer that $450,000 back to general purpose. And then general purpose amendment, and then you'll see also on the federal amendment. So that's there. And then also in the federal amendment, you'll see the elementary and secondary school elementary relief. That's what I'm calling the CARES Act. So if you see that. And then the last thing was the performance matrix. It's normally $25,000 for those teachers that are level 4 and 5, second grade, anybody that's tested. Since we didn't have test data from 1920, we're going to postpone that $25,000, and then next year, if we test, that'll become a $50,000 allotment instead of $25,000. So those that meet that performance matrix will get part of that $50,000 instead of $25,000. And that's all I have, unless y'all have any questions.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Murley.
I don't have anything unless questions.
Yeah, how about Mr. Shoemaker?
I do not see him online.
What about Paulette King, food service?
She is here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I have nothing for the agenda. We in school nutrition have been working the last 2 weeks. We've been working on CEP numbers for this coming year. The deadline has been moved up to August the 31st. We have also been sitting in and trying to make plans for the coming year. I was in a WebEx this afternoon. Needless to say, I will not be being too comfortable with any plan at this time. As of right now, it looks like we will have to start back if we go back full time. As with our students, we will only be able to feed students that are enrolled with our system. But we do have waivers that has been approved already from USDA, several that will help us through June of 2021. So given that, we can, if we have students who go remote and online, we will be able to feed those students and be able to use some of the flexibilities of doing more meals at one time. However, they must be enrolled. It will not be like it was with the SSO program, the Summer Seamless, as we ended our year with. It can't be for any children anywhere, only for those that is enrolled. So if we have students who decide to go online and they are enrolled with us or do their own home learning, they must be enrolled in our district to receive meals. So I think that's something that parents need to consider. Other than that, the BEPT card, well, I have sent that to Lietta. She has to update today, but DHS has extended that deadline for the application for any student in our school system that was enrolled this past year is eligible, and they can receive a card with $250+ per child. If they have not filled out that application, they need to do so within the next couple weeks. And it is on our website. And other than that, I have no other question or no other things to give you unless you have questions for me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Shannon.
Yes, really I only have one thing for the agenda. We do need to renew the service agreement with Chem Aqua for the water treatment program at Scott High School. Chem Aqua is the company that provides services for all the chemicals and equipment for treating the cooling towers associated with the closed loops of water there. So that the monies that are spent here will provide for the monthly service visits, freight, things like that. The cost associated with this agreement is $2,026.75 per year. But that's all I've got unless there's any questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Greg Bond.
I wish I didn't have anything. Trying to get this thing adjusted here. Okay. I have 2 items for the agenda. I would like to number one, request that the school board request finance to bid basically my computer parts bid for the upcoming year. As part of this CARES Act money, I've been told that we need to rebid things and make it so that that will qualify for the CARES Act to be able to be spent. The second item that I'm requesting, and you should have a document on your desk there, I'm asking for you to reinstate our trainer position that's been on the books for quite a few years, but to kind of restructure it somewhat into what we're calling a distance learning coordinator, so that we can get somebody that has some educational expertise both in the classroom and is comfortable with technology to help us create this online learning / virtual school initiative that, from the way it's looking, we really have no choice but to establish such a program. I'm more than happy to be the tech guy that, helps try to keep the servers running and stuff, but when it comes to curriculum and any kind of instruction, that's way over my level of expertise. And that's we put the survey out earlier this week. I would request that anybody that hasn't filled out that survey, please go to the website scottcounty.net, and there's a link there on the front page. We've got 14 questions that will really help us in kind of give us some guidance on where we need to be going as we look to reopen schools. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Greg. Mr. Howell.
Thank you. For the following agenda items, I'd like to ask the board to approve the meeting and work session schedule for the 2020-2021 school year. We'd like to continue the STAM program for the 2021 school year. Continue the contract with Dennis Jeffords for the audit of the activity and cafeteria accounts. It'll be the same $8,000, the same amount as last year. Would also like to ask the board to grant teachers tenure that are qualified. Would like to approve the Tennessee school systems for equity membership dues for the 2020-2021 school year. Would also like to approve first reading of board policies, and you have a copy of those. Also like to approve an agreement with the Tennessee Risk Management at $321,400. Let's see. Following surplus property, bus 01-4, and I'm not going to read the VIN number, is out of service. Bus 02-2 out of service. The Crown electric fork truck, Coach 950 car tie balancer, and the Atlas WBT-210 truck tie balancer. We'd like to put all those up for surplus. Also would like to reiterate on what Mr. Bond was talking about, our distance learning coordinator. This is very crucial for our plans going forward. As he said, this was on the books we had for years when Ms. David Blair was in that position. We have not filled that position for a number of years. We're all going to be taking some money from the CARES Act for the first year to finance this position. At that point in time, if the position stays, which we hope it will, because if we have a feeling this will always be needed, then we will have to work it into the general purpose. But again, I would like to reiterate that it's something that we desperately need for our system at this time. I would like to touch base on some plans for reopening school. First of all, let me thank my principals, central office staff, technology. Special thank you to Greg, Melissa, Miss Amanda, Mr. Keith Murley for putting up with me as we've gone through all the plans and stuff. And he's been an ear to listen. But he also has tremendous thought process, tremendous ideas, and tremendous hindsight. So thank those guys for everything. Greg and Melissa for taking the plans and putting in our ideas that we've had and keep forth putting them into words and getting it out and getting it to you guys. I don't know if they've slept yet or not, truthfully. But right now, tentatively, and I'll say these things tentatively, because we saw it, we had a change again yesterday. Right now, we are scheduled to open on August 10th. We are scheduled to have full in school classes, but also providing the option with some online learning. That is at this point in time. We'll have a date. If tentatively, like I said, if this goes, then we'll have a set point in time where if someone wants to do the online process, God will let us know by a certain date. We're building the curriculum as we go. It's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of effort from a lot of people. When I say a lot of people, I mean 100% of our staff, 100% of you guys, 100% of everyone in our system have to be on board and make this succeed as going forward with this. We also are going to try at that point in time comes if we ever have to go totally online. When I say online, there'll be accountability processes with that. The curriculum will be like an everyday curriculum. We'll have to stay on track every day, and also the accountability for attendance. Where if they're not logging on and they think they're going to sit at home and not do anything and run around, then that's when the truancy issues come in. We're working with the things to bring to you guys is with everything throughout the process. This is a big undertaking, guys. I mean, it's big. We probably sent you guys a rough draft. Now we've even revised that to a rough draft. We still have some questions that we have to finalize and answer. Hopefully get them to you guys after the 4th of July weekend. That's tentatively the plan is sit down, look at it and go through it. And like I said, then get everything with Greg and Melissa, and we'll get everything back out to you guys from there. I'll say tentatively because it could change at any moment. And I think the words of what Ms. Stanley said earlier about the talent we have, and it's really truthful, the words she speaks, because when I listen to everything with insight that people have in our meetings, especially with our principals and our staff, of what exactly they can bring. And we know what we have, that there's so many other talented people out there that can bring so much more. So any idea is good. We know, we think we've tried to cover about every scenario and brought in every other factor with it, and we're sure we've missed some. But we really tried to cover every base. And the biggest thing is making sure, number one, our buildings are clean, that they're sanitized, and that we can do the things that we need to do in order to have schools. But that can change. But as of today, and I speak as of today, our plan is to start on August 10th. And I don't know if over the executive order, there wasn't anything particularly mentioned in the school process in there. And I know Mr. Murley read it, and we went through it again yesterday, and he couldn't find anything, neither could I. But I'm sure there will be something in the next few days. But I don't want to get too deep into it because, like I said, right now it's not finalized, it's not finished. But it is, we think it's probably the best that we could do for what we have. And we have a great group that is working to build this, guys, and like Greg said, it's going to take an undertaking. It's going to take a lot of work. That's why the position with the distance learning coordinator is so vital and important to that piece. Thanks for everyone that's taken the survey for our school. I think we had over 1,500 as of yesterday. I think it was probably less than 2 days. So we've got a lot of great input from that. I mean, a lot of great input, which gives us data, which in order we can try to build the things that we need to do. Ms. Stanley mentioned athletics. I know right now, of course, that's not the driving force. What is our thought process of starting school? By no means. Our first thing is that, and you're talking, this is from a coach, but our first point and focus is our academic segment with that. Let me get that started. Is academics crucial and vital to school and important? Absolutely. absolutely. But right now, I know that with the executive order, I just saw something just come through, state no practice or anything else can start until after the executive order on August 29th. There is 3 plans that the TWSA has put out for coaches to kind of vote on. And like I said, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but we have a plan to push the season back with 8-game schedule, 2 teams make playoffs for football, and cut the playoffs by 1 week. There's a plan to flip-flop spring and fall sports. There's also a plan, what they call the Virginia plan, which would push everything back till after November for winter sports, to start December and run through February. Then your fall sports would start in February, run through April. And then your spring sports will start April 26th and run through June 26th. So that is a plan that's been put forth, been voted on by the coaches right now. TWSA will make an announcement tomorrow, I think, as far as which plan we're going to do. And then we'll go from there. I really felt good when I left here at 3 o'clock, 3:30 yesterday about our plan until at 4 o'clock I got the executive order that we shut down again on August 29th. So it's ever changing, but as Ms. Stanley said, it's exciting and it's challenging and it is it's wearing. I can use that word too. But you know, we'll get through it. And we're not going to have a plan to please all. I'm going to tell you that straight up. It's not going to please all. And at no time can we ever guarantee someone won't get sick. Never can we do that. Well, I promise you we will take every step of precaution we can in order to keep our buildings clean and sanitized, our buses clean and sanitized, and abide by whatever order is in place, been set forth. We will do. You know, I know mask is a big issue right now. Masks are optional in our plan. There might be situations if we can't social distance on a bus that we look at some things there. If we can't get temperatures taken before they get on the bus, just simply because of not having somebody on the bus that can do it. But like I said, those are things we're still working through and things that we are going to try to develop. You guys' input would be great. As we get forward into this process, we'll keep you updated, keep you involved. And if you see something, please do not ever hesitate to call, come by, ask when we're meeting, come in, because your input's vital. And you're going to be the one that's going to approve it once it's said and done. So you need to have the input when you see it. And so I think it's good, but, you know, we'll see. Thanks to everyone that has put the time and effort into this. And believe me, it's been a lot of time and effort. And that's all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me.
I got a question about the distance learning coordinator. Is that going to be a brand new position, or is they going to take an existing position and?
It's brand new. Well, let me say it's technically filling a spot that was already here.
Okay.
Okay. That we had on the books. I guess I didn't fill it probably when Ms. Blair retired. That time we were looking,
Yeah.
and we were looking at numbers and budget and trying to reduce to meet budget, and kind of felt like at that point in time we could make it without that. We've gotten some other people in part-time positions and those type of things, but this now is crucial.
I agree.
Crucial to get to where we need to be.
Well, after this is over with, if it gets over with, and we try to keep that position, will we try to keep that position at the salary that we're offering at this CARES Act?
Yeah, I mean, it'll go, the salary will be based on his experience, his education, and that. It won't be no more, no less, okay? The money's put for the CARES Act is put there to cover salary, insurance,
I
and
understand
everything.
that.
Yeah.
But after this is over with, because that CARES Act is for 2 years, right?
We can spend it in 2 years.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I just wondered if we're still going to be paying that person that much.
My answer would be yes, based on his experience, or we didn't need it, it'd go back to the classroom. Whoever the person is, okay? He's not gonna make, he, she, whomever, wouldn't make any more than what they make in the classroom, except we're gonna add to the 240 days. Because it's gonna be a year round, okay? And if it stays here, yes, it'll stay at that.
Okay, Mr. Silcox, did you have anything?
I don't have any.
Then did you have anything?
I'd just like to say I do appreciate getting calls and concerns from parents about, and suggestions. You know, I do appreciate that, so I want everybody to feel comfortable about calling me anytime.
And then they can call me.
When do you think we will let the public know?
Well, as soon as, like I said, we get this after the 4th of July, and we think it's good, we'll get you guys, or let you guys look at it. And then hopefully, about in the second week of July, somewhere in there.
About a month's notice.
About a month's notice, yes. And that being too, gives us a little bit of time to see what the state's going to actually do in this process. Because there may be something come from the state that delays the start. That, you know, well, we can start under an executive order. Some things, you know, those type of things. I know there's going to be a legislative session in August the 7th. I might lay to start during executive order, but that's cutting the time close. So, but yeah, well, about a month's notice with that.
Okay, did you have anything, John?
I don't, but I appreciate the efforts to move forward, understanding that this is an extremely fluid situation. And it's likely to change every day. I understand that. I appreciate the efforts as a parent.
Hard work.
It is.
How about you, Kim?
I've had parents, grandparents to call me, and I would take their suggestions and I put them down on paper and give you all one. And this may never ever need to be put in place, but if needed, they were concerned, and this was some of their ideas and suggestions. So you can take a look at it. You might build on it, take away or whatever. But I appreciate the calls. Anyone can call me at any time too, Bill. And I have to say, you look withered. It shows very much. It does.
It's the dog.
I stayed with the dog today. We had a dog day today.
How about you, Lou?
No. Go ahead.
Sharon covered it for you. Sure. How about you, Derek?
I just want to say good job with the distance learning coordinator position. That was one of my #1 complaints last year when we were going through all this, was the online learning and all the confusion with it, and so many platforms we were using. So good job with coming up with that. And good job with the survey, getting word out about the survey. I've run across it probably 5 to 10 times just on Facebook or wherever, but y'all getting the word out on that good too. So good job and thanks.
Okay, I appreciate what everybody's doing. I appreciate this technology department. Without them, where would we be? Does anyone else have anything they want to add? If not, we'll close up shop and go home.
Thank you.